Welcome back to Repairs to Go. In today's video, we are tackling a common issue, charging problems on the Samsung Galaxy A33 5G. If your device isn't charging properly, disconnects randomly, or shows no signs of life when plugged in, chances are the charging port is faulty or damaged. In this tutorial, I'll walk you through the step-by-step process of replacing the charging port, so stick around till the end to bring your device back to life. Power off the device. Always start by turning off the device completely to avoid short circuits or further damage. To remove the back cover of the Samsung Galaxy A33 5G, begin by ensuring the device has been sufficiently heated using a heat gun or hot plate. This softens the strong adhesive securing the back panel. Once warmed, carefully insert a thin plastic pry tool or a thin metal spudger into the small gap between the back cover and the frame, preferably starting near a corner. Slowly and gently slide the tool around the edges to cut through the adhesive, applying more heat if needed. For stubborn areas, a few drops of isopropyl alcohol can be applied to help dissolve the adhesive and reduce resistance. Take extra care near the corners and the camera module, as the back panel is made of hard plastic, polycarbonate, and can crack easily if too much force is applied. Patience and steady hands are key during this step to avoid any accidental damage. Once the back cover has been successfully removed, the next step is to disconnect the battery to ensure electrical safety during the repair. Begin by locating and removing all screws that secure the plastic mid-frame or internal cover, which protects the internal components. Carefully pry up the mid-frame using a plastic spudger or opening tool, starting from an edge and working your way around to avoid damaging any clips or internal cables. Proceed to disconnect the charging port flex cable, antenna lines, and any other connected components. If there are additional screws anchoring the charging board, unscrew them gently. With all connectors and screws detached, use a pair of plastic tweezers or a spudger to slowly lift and remove the charging board from its seated position. Be cautious during this step to avoid damaging surrounding components, as the board may still be slightly held in place by residual adhesive or tight fitting. Always make sure the battery is fully disconnected before proceeding to remove or replace any parts. With the old charging board removed, it's time to install the replacement charging port board. Begin by carefully aligning the new board into the exact same position as the original, making sure that the USB-C port fits securely into its slot at the bottom frame of the device. Ensure the board sits flush without any obstruction or uneven gaps. Once positioned correctly, reconnect all previously detached components. Start by attaching the charging port flex cable, followed by the antenna wires, making sure they snap into place firmly. If there are any additional flex connections such as microphones or vibration motors, reconnect those as well. Finally, secure the board using the appropriate screws, tightening them gently to avoid over-torquing, which could damage the PCB or standoff posts. Double-check all connections to confirm everything is seated properly before moving on to reassembly. Once the new charging port has been installed and all necessary connections are secured, it's important to perform a quick functionality test before fully reassembling the device. Connect a compatible charger to the port and observe the screen or battery indicator for any signs of charging activity. This preliminary check ensures that the new port is working correctly and eliminates the need to reopen the device later in case of a faulty installation or defective part. With the new charging port board securely installed and all connections verified, begin reassembling the device by reinstalling the loudspeaker module. Carefully position it over the charging board, aligning it with the screw holes and ensuring it fits snugly into place. Once aligned, secure it with the screws removed earlier. Next, take the plastic mid-frame and gently snap it back into position, making sure all clips along the edges engage properly without forcing or bending the frame. Once the mid-frame is secured, reconnect the battery flex cable by pressing it firmly back into its connector on the motherboard. This will restore power to the device, so double-check that no tools or foreign objects remain inside. With all internal components reassembled, you are now ready to reseal the back cover and complete the final steps of the repair. With all internal components reassembled and the functionality of the new charging port confirmed, it's time to seal the back cover. Once aligned, press down firmly around the entire edge of the phone to secure the cover in place. To ensure an even and lasting bond, you can use plastic clips or small clamps to hold the cover down while the adhesive cures. Allow it to sit undisturbed for at least 30 minutes if using B7000 or follow the curing time recommended by the adhesive manufacturer. Final test. Power on the device and connect the charger to confirm it's charging correctly. Check fast charging and USB data transfer functionality if needed.